Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear students. Today in this particular video we will be concerned with survey. We will be studying what are the provisions of Income Tax Act 1961 relating to survey. As you know, in the last video, in the last module, we had already understood, we had already studied the provisions relating to search and seizure. In fact, search, seizure and survey, that is considered to be one and you may say parts of one aspect only. But basically, for the sake of simplicity, we have divided these chapters into in the first category, in the first part, we had studied search and seizure, and now in the second part, we are going to study what is survey and what are the various provisions of the act relating to survey. So let us start. Let us start. What is survey? Dear students, before going to study, before learning the provisions relating to survey, a few basic words you must know. First word is proceeding. Now, what is proceeding? What is proceeding? As we say that proceedings are going on. So kindly note, as far as the word proceeding is concerned, it means any proceeding under the Income Tax Act 1961 in respect of any year, that may be pending on the date. Kindly note that may be pending on the date on which powers under this section, that is relating to survey, are exercised, or which may have even been completed. It has already been completed. Even this will apply to that also, and completed on or before such date. And kindly note that it also includes various proceedings, all proceedings under this act, which may be commenced, which have not still started, which have not still commenced, but which may be commenced as per the provisions of this act after such date in respect of any year. So you see, meaning of proceeding is quite wide, so it should be kept in mind as it is very useful in the chapters relating to survey. Now, let us come to the main point, that is power of survey. Power of survey. I think what is survey, that is known to you. Conducting a survey in order to check the validity of, in order to check the reasonableness of some transaction, something, or you may say some article, or all that. So now comes power of survey. Kindly note section 133A of the Income Tax Act 1961 deals with that. And as far as the power to survey is concerned, kindly note various income tax authorities, say being principal commissioner, or even commissioner of income tax, then joint commissioner of income tax, then a principal director or director. Similarly, a joint director, an assistant director, or a deputy director, or you may say an assessing officer, or even a TRO, that is tax recovery officer, or in some special circumstances even inspector. So they have, in this case, they have the right to survey. So kindly note, this should be noted. When you are having power, only then you are empowered to, you are in a position to conduct survey. So it should be remembered. But again, it should be remembered that in case, some, you may say, some sort of action is to be taken by a person, that is you may say assistant director or deputy director, or an assessing officer, or a TRO, or as I have already told you, in some circumstances inspector, then they can do so only after getting the approval of the joint director or the joint commissioner. So you may say that prior permission from joint director or joint commissioner is necessary for these authorities which I have just discussed in order to conduct survey, in order to start the proceedings under survey. A few general things. Kindly note. Generally, what is there? Period. A survey is basically conducted on the same day. A survey is conducted, it is completed on the same day, it is concluded on the same day. It is conducted, completed, concluded on the same day. And in case, according to the fact and figures and circumstances of the case, in case the situation so demands, in that case, survey can also be continued to the next day. So it can be then, in that case, it can be completed, it can be concluded on the next day. It is also there. Now, then, you should learn what are the jurisdiction of income tax authorities for conducting survey. What is the, you may say, jurisdiction area wise? What is the jurisdiction of various authorities for conducting survey? Now, again, one thing, dear students, you should note that an income tax authority may conduct survey. First of all, various points are there, and these are we are discussing as per the provisions of the Act. So, no much variation is there. We will be studying as is mentioned in the Act only. So, first is uh, an income tax authority may conduct survey at any place within the limits of the area which has been assigned to that authority. So within the area, within the limits of the area assigned to them, the income tax authorities may conduct the survey in any place. Secondly, they may conduct the survey at any place occupied by any person, occupied by any person, in respect of whom such authorities exercise jurisdiction. So you see the difference between 2 points. In the first point, it was any place within the limits of the area which are under his control, which are assigned to him. But in second case, any place occupied by any person in respect of whom the income tax authority exercises jurisdiction. So second category is different from first. Or now third. What is there in third part? Any place, an income tax authority may conduct a survey at any place in respect of which the authority is authorized for the purposes of this section by such income tax authority who is assigned the area within which such place is situated. I think it is now very much clear. And who exercises jurisdiction in respect of any person occupying such place where a business or profession or an activity of charitable purpose is carried on. So, in case we are moving to some other area, and in case we are moving to some other area and we want to conduct survey at that part, in that case, what will happen? Authorization from the income tax authority having jurisdiction over that area, over that place, that should be taken. So it is the rule. Now I will be discussing with you the powers one by one. A few powers are there. Now first is, what are the powers of income tax authority while conducting survey? So kindly note, first of all, as survey is something practical, it is not something theoretical. Survey is to be conducted, some place is to be visited, something is to be checked, something is to be verified. So the main power of the income tax authority is that such authority, maybe joint director, maybe commissioner, assistant commissioner, they may enter the place of business. And as far as timing is concerned, I have already told you that normally, survey is conducted and it is concluded on the same day. But in case the situation so demands, it may be conducted even on the next day. So it should be kept in mind. And the income tax authority may enter such place of business. Now, second, we are continuing with the powers of the income tax authority while conducting survey. Then second is income tax authority may enter the place other than the business premises. In the last part, in the first part, we had studied that income tax authority may enter the place of business. Now, they are even empowered to enter the place other than the business premises in case the assessee shows, in case it is clear that and it is you may say it is as they are told by the assessee that cash the cash, stock in trade, records, and books of accounts relating to my business are lying at a particular place. And it is, we are told by the income tax authority, is told by the assessee himself. In that case, you may say income tax authority may visit that place also, which is other than the place of business where something is lying, as I have already told you. Now, again, third, kindly note that while conducting survey, it is a power of the income tax authority to require any proprietor, trustee, employee, or any other person who is there at the time and place of survey. They may require them. The income tax authority is empowered to require that fellow, that proprietor, trustee, employee, or any other person who is available at that time. In which activity? In attending or helping in conducting such survey, you may say. Now, income tax authority is empowered to ask him to provide necessary facilities to inspect books of accounts and to inspect various documents which are available at such place. And kindly note that for this purpose, I have already told you that even income tax inspector is also considered as income tax authority. I have told you in the previous slides that in some cases even income tax inspector is treated as income tax authority. Then what may be asked from that particular fellow who is present there? He may be proprietor, trustee, employee, or any other person. The income tax authority may ask him to provide the necessary facilities to check or verify the cash, to verify stock, or to verify other valuable article or thing which is found at that particular place. Some, you may say, note counting machine may be asked, or something like that. Anything may be asked that is related to the things, articles, cash, stock that is found at that particular place. And it is also there. Income tax authorities are also empowered to ask that person to provide such information that is needed by the income tax authorities in order to carry on, in order to finalize, in order to conduct the survey in a better way, and as per the proceedings under this act. Again, we are continuing with the powers. Then sometimes it may happen. Kindly note the fourth point I am discussing. What is there? That you may ask, the income tax authority may put some marks of identification on the books of accounts. It is allowed. Or they may put some mark of identification on documents which they have inspected at that time. And even they may make some extracts, or they may take some copies, photocopies, xerox copies from those records, those books of accounts, those documents which are there at the time of survey. So it is there, and they are free to do so. And in case, fifth point I am discussing with you, in case they found that the books, maybe there is some suspicion in their mind that they suspect that in the meantime the assessee or his representative may remove the books, may destroy the books of accounts, or may destroy the documents. In that case, income tax authorities are even empowered to impound and retain in their custody the books of accounts or various other documents which they have just inspected. So this is the power of income tax authorities. And again, they are empowered to make an inventory of any stock, any cash, any other valuable article, or any other thing which they have just checked and verified during the survey. And then they may record the statement. The person who is available there, he may be proprietor, he may be trustee, or he may be any other person. Then in that case, income tax authorities are empowered to record their statement, record the statement of any person, and which they think that which may be useful for them, which may be relevant to them under the proceedings going on under this act. So it should be noted. These were powers. Now let's move further. Kindly note, what do you mean by deemed place of business or profession or activity for charitable purpose? Kindly note, deemed place where such activities are carried on, which is deemed place. Again, please note that in case some person is conducting some business, carrying on some profession, or carrying on some activity for charitable purpose, and such person says, he says that any of his books of accounts, any of the documents relating to his business, or some part of his cash, or some stock, some valuable article, or something relating to the activities conducted by him, relating, it may be business, it may be profession, or even it may be activity for charitable purpose. And he says that my books and other things like cash and stock, these have been kept at some other place. Now, as per the provisions of survey, then survey can also be conducted at that particular place, and that will be considered to be deemed place. Now again, what are the restrictions on income tax authorities? You see, some restrictions have also been posed by, some restrictions are also there. These have been imposed by the Income Tax Act 1961 itself. What are those restrictions? Let us discuss. First restriction, kindly note that an income tax authority shall not impound any books or other documents, as I have already told you while discussing powers, that they are empowered to impound books. But kindly note that in order to impound books or in order to impound any other document, they must give the reasons. They must give the reasons for doing so. Without recording their reasons, without recording the reasons for doing so, they are not empowered to impound any books of accounts or any document. Secondly, kindly note, an income tax authority shall not retain in his custody any books of accounts or any documents for a period exceeding 15 days. Kindly note, 15 days is the maximum ceiling, but it should be exclusive of holidays. And in order to conduct further proceedings, it is required that books of accounts or other documents are needed to be retained, are needed to be kept for a period exceeding 15 days. In that case, the prior approval of principal chief commissioner or the chief commissioner, principal director general or director general, or principal commissioner or commissioner, principal director or director from out of these authorities, permission should be taken, and it will differ in which case from which authority. But you may say, in simple language, you may say that permission from the higher authorities should be taken in order to retain in his custody the books or documents for a period exceeding 15 days. Up to 15 days, no such approval is needed, and while counting this period of 15 days, it should be exclusive of holidays. Then next restriction imposed on the income tax authorities is that these authorities will not remove or cause to be removed any cash, any stock, or any other valuable thing, or anything, they should not remove. Some instruction has been imposed on them. Lastly, we may say that another restriction that has been imposed on income tax authority is that particular place of business, or that particular place where some activities relating to profession is carried on by the you may say assessee or by the person, it can't be sealed. Under survey, it is very significant that you can conduct survey, but you are not empowered to seal that place. You are not empowered to seal that place of business or profession. What is the time of survey? Kindly note that an income tax authority may enter into the place where business is carried on, or where profession is carried on during the business hours. During the business hours, they may enter into the place. And in case of deemed place of business, only after sunrise but before sunset. So it should be noted. At particular place during business hours, the authority may enter for conducting survey, and obviously for concluding survey also. And in case of deemed place of business, the authority may enter only after sunrise but before, up to, you may say, sunset. So it should also be kept in mind. Now, survey of certain expenditure. Kindly note, section 133A subsection 5 of the Income Tax Act 1961 deals with this aspect, that is survey of certain expenditure. Now, kindly note what is that. Any income tax authority, for this purpose, even we include inspector as income tax authority, having regard to the nature and scale of expenditure that has been incurred by the assessee. That has been incurred by the assessee. Assessee has incurred some expenditure, and keeping in consideration the nature of expenditure and scale of expenditure, quantum of expenditure, regarding it may be regarding some function, some marriage function, some other you may say family function, ceremony, event. It was conducted by the assessee, and the expenditure, the nature of expenditure, the quantum of expenditure, scale of expenditure is so huge, is so much, that the income tax authority, even inspector, they think that keeping in mind the expenditure incurred by the assessee, it becomes necessary, or it is required that after the completion of such a function, after the completion of such a event or ceremony, they may require the assessee who incurred such expenditure, or they may require any other person who they think, who the authority including inspector think, or who may be having the information regarding such expenditure. Then in that case, the income tax authorities including inspector, they may ask him, they may ask the assessee or the person, as I have already told you, to furnish information, to furnish further information as is required, as it is useful, as is relevant to any proceeding under the act. So they may ask them to give detailed information, and even the income tax authority may record the statement of the assessee or any other person in this regard, and then after that recorded statement may be used as, may be produced as evidence in any proceeding going on under this act. So kindly note again, one thing, dear students, you must note that in case some survey is conducted, in case some survey is being conducted and some income tax authority is there, then it becomes the duty of the proprietor, trustee, or the person who is available at that particular point of place on behalf of assessee, that he or she should cooperate. He should be cooperating, complying with the instructions given by the income tax authority. In case no cooperation is there, or in case the person available at that place, he, you may say, he doesn't comply with the directions given by the authorities conducting survey, in that case, kindly note, income tax authority shall have all the powers under section 131 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act 1961 for enforcing compliance with the requirements. So kindly note, they are empowered to enforce the compliance from those persons. So it is always advisable when this survey is conducted, so it becomes the duty of the person, basically owner, assessee, trustee, or anyone who is present there, to fully cooperate with the income tax authorities and fully comply with them during survey and during the proceedings are going on. So dear students, this was regarding survey, and I hope that various provisions of conducting survey are now clear to you. Okay, okay, dear students, thank you.